Hello, Matthews Gatos here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put the unit circle into your graphing calculator in 6 easy steps. Okay, step number 1. If you look at the unit circle here, I want to be able to recognize the key points. When I put it into my graphing calculator, I won't have exact values. I will only have decimal values. So we need to know how to recognize these exact values in their decimal forms. So 1 and 0, that's pretty basic. But root 3 over 2 and a half. Well, a half is 0.5. I'm okay there. But what's root 3 over 2? In the calculator, the decimal equivalent of root 3 over 2 is 0.866. The next point, root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. So the decimal equivalent of that, 0.707. So here's how I'm going to remember that. 1 and 0, pretty basic. A half, 0.5. Root 3 over 2 I know is 0.866 because 3 is bigger than 2 and 0.866 is bigger than 707. So I know when I see the decimal number 0.866, since it's the bigger one, that has to be root 3 over 2. Similarly, when I see 707, 0.707, I know that has to be the smaller of the two roots, which is root 2 over 2. Okay, step number 2, get my graphing calculator ready in degree mode. So when you reset your calculator, it automatically goes back to radian mode. So we have to go into the mode, and we're going to enter and go down to radians, go over to degrees and press enter to highlight degrees. Now I can see at the top I'm in degree mode. Okay, step number 2. Done. Step number 3, enter the degrees into list 1. So in my graphing calculator, I will hit stat, I will press enter for edit, and in list 1, I'm going to enter in all my degrees. Now you guys will have a blank list. I have already entered mine, so you can catch up with me quite quickly. So in quadrant number 1, I have 0, 30, 45, 60, and 90. In quadrant 2, I have 120, 135, 150, and 180. In quadrant 3, I have 210, 225, 240, and 270. And in my last quadrant, quadrant 4, I have 300, 315, 330, and back to where I started, 360. Okay, step number 4. Go up to the top of list 2 and highlight it. And when I highlight it, it opens up this formula bar. In that formula bar, I'm going to enter in cos of list 1, which says I want to take the cosine of all the angle measurements in list 1. So I go over to list 2, up to the top where it's highlighted, and you can see now my formula bar here, and I'm going to enter in cosine of list 1. So list 1 is right above the number 1. So second 1. And then to populate this list, I press enter. So these are all the cosine values. So cosine of 0, cosine of 30, cosine of 45, etc. Step number 5. Do the same thing in list 3 for sine. So up at the top highlighted, enter in sine of all the values in list 1. So to do that, I'm going to go into, there we go into my calculator, into list 3, up at the top here, and I'll hit sine of all the angles in list number 1. So second 1 again. So this is saying I want to take the sine ratio of all the angles in list 1, press enter to populate the list, and these are all the sine values. So sine of 0 is 0, sine of 30, a half, etc. So now what I can do is my favorite step, which is step number 6, enjoy the entire calculator having the unit circle ready for you. So if I go through here, I know that 0.0 is 1 and 0, 0.30 is 0.866, and 0.5. Well, I know 0.5 is a half. What was 0.866 again? Well, remember that 0.866 was root 3 over 2. So anytime I see that number, I know it's root 3 over 2. So then I know 0.30 is root 3 over 2 and a half. 0.45 is, what was that decimal again? Well, that decimal was root 2 over 2. So anytime I see that number, I know it's root 2 over 2. So 45 degrees is root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. Now this follows around the unit circle with the appropriate signs. For example, let's look at 210. The point on the unit circle 210 is negative root 3 over 2 and negative a half. Or for example, 315. At 315, that is root 2 over 2 and negative root 2 over 2. So I think it's great that in 6 simple steps, we can have the entire unit circle in our graphing calculator. Makes it super convenient. So I hope you liked this video, and I look forward to seeing you for the next one.